to go.
Yeah, there's a little backstory behind that kind of riff or that little vamp. Me and Simon, we had been working on some track ideas, and we worked on a very jazzy track. And then when we got this lead at the SM camp, Simon used kind of a little sample from that. So that guitar thing it's me playing, but it's from a different track idea.
Interesting.
And then we built these new chords around it, and so that's a pretty cool story how this kind of riff came to life. And this part we try to make it like a rap with some like rap melody parts. Another co-writer on this song is Gustav Karlström, a Swedish writer, singer. He sang on the demo. And Dees, a great Korean writer and producer. And here's the more melodic part, the pre-chorus, like I was talking about. And here we go into that major chord that really lifts before the chorus. Here's the hook part. Emotional, emotional, emotional. And we try to find like a cool twist, a cool rhythm, how to use that word. That was actually the original title of the song, Emotional. That major chord with the impact, then back to the riff, the bridge. With some new chords, just trying to like get into a different color, different mindset, musical landscape. And here comes the guitar solo. It's me playing actually just behind the main vocal. And here comes the outro where we try to have another new hook. Something very singable that could work live as well for the audience to sing along with. And the guitar solo just keep going. I was just going crazy there. And then some rhythmic impact at the end, so that's it.
Right, so for the guitar solo, was that all improv or?
Yeah, it was just one take basically.
And you specialize in writing the top line. Does that mean you also write the rap parts?
On this song, I mean, we did the chords together. I like doing the chords and the bass lines and everything, but sometimes I top line it. And so absolutely, I do raps too. I actually rap myself on some of the demos, like Once Again, that song I did for NCT, that rap, the second verse rap, that was me rapping the demo. Sometimes I actually sing too. I prefer to have great R&B singers on the lead vocals, but I do a lot of the backgrounds myself because I have a vision for the vocal arrangement, so it's so much quicker when I actually do it myself instead of instructing somebody.
Ooh, does that mean you wrote that rap part in the song?
This rap part I think we just did together. It was in English, of course, in the original. We were just having fun in the room, and we try to get that mix, not just rap, but some rap and some melodies going back and forth to make it interesting, like telling a story, basically.
Yeah, I always really appreciate that. Do you think you could conjure up some of your memory for the improv and play us a little bit?
Well, I can just improvise a little bit.
Just improv in the key?
That same style.
Yes.
I don't remember what I played there, but...
That would be fantastic.
Just a little bit.
Fantastic. This will be Lee Dong-woo's Once There Was a Love. So I understand that you and Simone and a few other people composed all of Lee Dong-woo's Walking Cane album. And so I asked Andreas, what is your #1 favorite song from that? And it's Once There Was a Love. So I
Yes, original title was Broken Wall.
Wow. So you composed that song with
From
Broken
scratch
Wall
in
mind.
the room, yeah. Me, Gustav, and Simon, and Johnny Wang, a Korean writer. And Lee Dong-woo, he was in the room too. He came in and out. He was sitting there getting like ideas for his Korean lyrics. But our demo lyric was about like every broken wall. There's a story behind every broken wall. You see, there's something, a history. There's an interesting story. This is a beautiful intro with live strings. We had a different intro that Simon kind of programmed with synthesizer strings, but this is a real very nice intro made by a Korean arranger. This is kind of like, we try to write this song like an old American standard, like jazz classic from the American songbook. Try to make a song with those kind of qualities. Here comes the pre-chorus. Here we go into a little darker mode here with minor chords. Now it brightens up a little bit. A little bit of a ritardando here before, ritardando maybe in Italian, I don't know. For the chorus. There are a lot of like what you call in jazz like 2/5 progressions. That gives it a little bit of a feeling of a key change, but it's still in that original key. Just like modal interchange chords that gives it a little bit different color and feel. And here we have the upright bass solo. I think on the original demo we had like a piano solo here. We might even have tried out a sax solo. There's actually Simon, he plays a little bit of sax. I think it was on this song he tried out a sax solo, but they went for an upright bass solo during the final version of the song. This song has a little bit of a different format than a pop song because it's more like a jazz standard song. Here comes the extended ending. We're staying on that dominant chord. And the ending. There's a lot of chords there at the end. We try to make the ending kind of interesting.
Walking Cane is such a fantastic album and definitely underrated, as we say in pop music terms. So I was wondering if you could play similar to your improvisation in one of his other songs called Step It Up.
Yeah, that's kind of the solo part is like kind of like a minor blues in these kind of chord progressions.
So to our viewers
impromptu
listening,
solo.
If you enjoyed what you just heard, go check out Lee Dong-woo's Walking Cane album. That was a similar solo to what Andreas played in the song called Step It Up. So go check it out.
Thank you.
Now we're moving on to Oh My Girl's Windy Day. So we'll talk a little bit about this Spanish Phrygian scale you guys chose to use.
Yeah, Mixolydian flat 2 flat 6 is another name for it.
What was the reason for choosing that?
I don't know, we just tried it. Me and Maria, some of the songs we wrote together, especially a few years ago, they were very experimental. We tried to have many different parts and unexpected twists and turns. And for the A chorus for this song, we really tried to make it like a little bit ABBA-ish. You know, the Swedish band ABBA, they were very big in the 70s. They had a specific sound, like upbeat pop music with strong vocals and very strong melodies. So the A chorus is a little bit like that. Then we go into that post hook that's a little bit different too. And then that third like part of the chorus is where it becomes a little bit more Arabic, Middle Eastern, Spanish Phrygian, whatever you want to call it. It becomes more exotic and very unexpected.
Right.
The song was called Wishing Well originally. The concept was about like tried everything like to find love and then finally throwing a like penny in the wishing well. But they changed the concept to windy day instead, and the video turned out really, really cool.
Yeah, I was wondering, do you like this change of concept and how it matched with the...
Yeah, in this case, absolutely. I think it's kind of made the song even stronger.
Fantastic. Okay, let's take a listen to this song.
So it starts with an acoustic guitar here. We wanted to create like a summer feeling, upbeat, like pop, happy. Here it breaks down. Here comes an interesting minor 7 flat 5 chord, a descending chord progression. Still just a guitar and voice. More voices come in, and here it takes off. Here comes the A chorus, where we really wanted to get that ABBA feeling, with that kind of pumping bass and also that distorted guitar that ABBA, with the 16th notes that they used a lot. So that's the end of the A chorus. Here comes the post hook with a bigger vocal arrangement, and this one phrase that repeats. You get some impact, and here comes this unexpected part where I added several guitars, and I was using this mode that you call Spanish Phrygian or Mixolydian flat 2 flat 6. It's an inversion of harmonic minor, if somebody's interested. Back to the post. And I'm playing both electric guitar here and acoustic guitar, so it's like a kind of a variation of the post hook coming here. No chords, just drums and the vocal arrangement. Little break to create a little bit of like excitement for the last chorus, the last post, with a lot of ad-libs going here. And now it's like basically a guitar solo going. The many layers of guitar. It was fun to create this. And that's it.
Boom.
That's a line, something like that.
And for us noobs who aren't too familiar with pop song structure, so I'm familiar with verse, pre-chorus, chorus, and like intro and outro, but you're talking about post hook.
Yeah, in most K-pop songs there is a post hook, but what's kind of original with this song is after that post hook is one more part with this kind of an instrumental. In dance music you would call it a drop, instrumental drop, but here it's like an instrumental part that kind of creates a more mysterious, a little bit of a crazy feeling. That's in the video when the wind blows and the girls get all...
Quite the most amazing song. Okay, last but not least, I'd like to finish this film session with Red Velvet's Would You.
Oh, right.
Fantastic.
Just want to say something about this song. It was actually a track that was sent to us, to me and Simon, from Korean composer Iggy. He's done a lot for G-Friend, for Source Music, and his team. So this was a top line assignment for us to create the melody and the lyrics. We created this melody. We really wanted to create something that sounded a bit unexpected melodically over these kind of chords. Starts just with piano and some ad-libs. We had our friend Maya sing on the... She's a great writer too. We had her sing on the demo, so she started with some cool ad-libs there. The song has a kind of... The chords were, to me, they sounded like kind of gospel-inspired. So here comes the pre-chorus. We added a bunch of background vocals here behind the lead. A hook line before the chorus, repetitive. Comes the chorus. With the hook line, would you. And here's a chord change. There's a lot of things happening. So this part was a challenge to find a logical, doable, singable melody over those chords, but I think we came up with something cool. The track was and it is very sparse. It's basically it's drums, piano, and some bass, so it's not a whole lot of things happening. So we had to keep the top line interesting. Here comes what we call the Would You, the post hook of the song. Didn't come after the first chorus, we saved it for the second chorus to develop the song. And here we modulate to another key, a lower key. And we do a little bit of the chorus, and then we go back until the original chorus. So this is something that's called a false modulation, which is very interesting. You just kind of, in the end of the bridge, you go down to a new key that's lower, and then you sing the original melody in that new lower key, and then you go back up to the original, and it sounds like it's basically back to the same key, but and here it's a breakdown, kind of like what you would hear like at a live concert. So instead of this boom bang ending, it's just basically it's the vocals and the piano, and it's just slowly ends like that.
Okay, so when I listen to K-pop, there's a huge handful of songs that end not with a PAC, but with a jazzy ending. What type of effect do you think this has on the audience?
Yeah, I mean, in this case, the track was like this, so we just try to match it with a good vocal at the end, so it made sense. So now it's very live-ish, you know, it's kind of the interaction between the singer and like that rubato style, when it's not really a tempo, but it's eye contact or musical communication between the singer and the pianist, and then end the song kind of together.
So thank you so much for joining us, and what songs are we expecting to hear from you next?
There will be a pretty intense fall with a lot of song releases. I just did a 2-week camp with SM Entertainment. Hopefully you guys will hear some of those songs. My next release is coming out now in a week from now. It's with Super Junior, D and E. It's the solo track for E. It's called Illusion. There's an alternative title to Obsessed. It's a trap style song, influenced by American artists such as Drake, Post Malone, and those guys, with a little bit of more chords going on. So I hope you guys like it.
All right, we're very excited. Thank you once again.
Thank you.